In the early 1980s, the Kennedy family was thrilled to move into their newly built home in a serene suburb of Houston, Texas. The house, with its spacious rooms and lush backyard, seemed like the perfect place to start anew. Little did they know, their dream home was about to become a living nightmare. The trouble began almost immediately. On their very first night, as the family settled into their new surroundings, eerie noises began to disturb their sleep. It started with faint whispers and creaking floorboards, which they initially dismissed as the sounds of settling wood or the house adjusting to its new occupants. But as days turned into weeks, the disturbances grew more sinister. The whispers grew louder, and the family began to hear footsteps pacing through the empty hallways, often followed by sudden chilling drafts. At night, shadowy figures seemed to dart past the windows, vanishing before anyone could get a clear look. Objects in the house moved on their own. Books were found scattered across the floor, and furniture was inexplicably rearranged. The family tried to ignore the strange occurrences, hoping they were just the result of stress from moving. However, their fear escalated when they began to find strange symbols scrawled on walls in what appeared to be chalk or dirt. The final blow came when they decided to dig up their backyard to plant a garden. As the shovel broke through the soil, the family was horrified to unearth human bones. Skeletal remains and fragments of old coffins were discovered beneath their backyard, suggesting that their home had been built over a cemetery that had not been entirely relocated. The discovery was both shocking and horrifying, confirming their worst fears about the property. Desperate to rid themselves of the malevolent presence, the family sought the help of paranormal investigators and performed multiple cleansing rituals. Despite their efforts, the hauntings persisted. The house seemed to have a life of its own, with windows slamming shut and doors opening to reveal nothing but darkness. The family members were plagued by nightmarish visions and unsettling dreams. The growing terror drove the family to abandon their home, unable to bear the constant fear. The case of the Black Hope curse became a local legend, with the property's disturbing history becoming a cautionary tale about the consequences of disturbing sacred ground. The house remained vacant, a grim reminder of the horror that had once unfolded within its walls. In the picturesque Belgian town of Saint-Nicolas, nestled among the rolling hills and ancient trees, there lies a grave that has puzzled and unsettled locals for over a century. The grave belongs to a young girl named Amelie, who passed away under tragic circumstances in 1911. Her final resting place is marked by a modest headstone, surrounded by a small, quiet plot in the town's old cemetery. From the moment Amelie was buried, strange things began to happen. Local legends grew as tales of ghostly sightings and unexplained phenomena spread. The most unsettling of these stories involved mysterious lights and sounds that seemed to emanate from the graveyard at night. Witnesses reported seeing flickering orbs of light dancing around the grave, and faint, eerie music would drift through the air. Despite the passage of time, the grave of Amelie remained a focal point of supernatural activity. The grave was often found adorned with fresh flowers and toys, even though no family members or known visitors came to tend to it. This inexplicable phenomenon led to various theories about the nature of these offerings. Some locals believed that a guardian spirit watched over the grave, ensuring that Amelie's resting place was always cared for. Others whispered of a darker presence, suggesting that the grave was a portal to another realm. The mysterious occurrences surrounding Amelie's grave drew curious visitors and paranormal investigators from far and wide. They came to witness the unexplicable events for themselves, often leaving with a sense of awe and dread. The graveyard became a place of both fascination and fear, as the tale of Amelie and her enigmatic resting place continued to captivate and disturb those who dared to explore its secrets. The grave of Amelie, with its persistent mysteries and eerie atmosphere, stands as a testament to the unknown and the unsettling possibilities that lie within the quiet, sacred spaces of our world. In the small, tight-knit community of Fowlerville, Michigan, the local cemetery was a place of peace and reverence. Among the many graves was that of George Spangler, a revered World War II veteran whose final resting place was marked by a beautifully carved gravestone. The stone, engraved with his name and the insignia of his service, was a testament to his bravery and sacrifice. However, in 2016, the tranquility of the cemetery was shattered by a shocking and macabre crime. George Spangler's gravestone disappeared without a trace. The theft went unnoticed for several months until a routine visit by the family revealed the horrifying truth. The grave was left bare, the absence of the stone a stark and painful symbol of disrespect. The family, along with the local community, was devastated by the theft. The once respectful cemetery had been violated, and the crime sparked outrage and fear. An investigation was launched, and a search was conducted throughout the town and surrounding areas. Despite numerous leads and community efforts, the gravestone remained missing. In a twist of fate, the stolen tombstone was eventually discovered in a nearby forest. The stone was found abandoned and vandalized, its once pristine surface marred by graffiti and neglect. The community rallied to restore the grave, but the damage had been done. The desecration of George Spangler's resting place became a symbol of the increasing disregard for the sanctity of graves. The stolen tombstone case lingered in the community's memory as a grim reminder of how fragile and vulnerable even the most sacred places can be. The cemetery, once a haven of peace, now bore the scars of the crime, and the respect for the deceased became a poignant concern for the townspeople.